Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm gonna do a black smoky eye. My last two looks were really subtle, so I wanted to switch it up a bit. This makeup look is something that you can wear for a night out with girls in town, or if you're going clubbing or any other occasion where you want to really grab attention to your eyes. So without further ado, let's jump into it. First, I'm going to start off with the eyes. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in the shade Tan Sand. And I use this concealer to prime my eyelids because this is a really high coverage concealer and it covers everything, every pigmentation that I have on my eyelids. Then I'm going to set that in place using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. So this is going to help the eyeshadows blend really easily. Then I'm going into the Tarte Pro palette, and I'm going to start off with the shade Innocent, and I'm going to put this into my crease. This is not going to show up much, but this is going to help blend out the other colors that I'm going to apply on my eyes. As you can see, I'm really taking my time and blending it all out. And then I'm going to go into the shade Whimsy. I'm going to apply this in the same areas that I applied Innocent, into my crease and into my socket as well. I really like to take my time with blending out the eyeshadows, and I slowly build the colors up. I go in with a small amount and then I like to build them up. For black, I'm using the shade Punk from the same palette, and I'm going to really pack this onto my lids. I'm not going to go past my lid space. I'm just going to use this on my entire lids and really pack on the black. And to blend it out, I'm using a blending brush, and I'm going to blend out the edges so I don't have any harsh lines. The brush looks black because I used it on the other eye. And again, I'm going to go back into the shade Whimsy, and I'm going to blend everything out. So I'm going to repeat this process until I get the intensity that I want. I'm going to go back into the black, build that up on my lid, and I'm going to blend it out using the shade Whimsy. And again, like I said, I'm going to use the shade Whimsy to blend it all out. And now I'm going to remove any fallouts with a makeup remover wipe. And then I'm using the shade Classic to highlight my brow bone. To line my upper waterline, I'm using the Urban Decay Perversion 24x7 black glide on pencils. This is gonna make my lash line look fuller. Moving on to face, I'm using the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is my holy grail primer. This is the one that I reach for a lot. For foundation, I'm using the Estee Lauder water foundation, the new foundation that they came out with, and I'm gonna dot that onto my face and use my beauty blender to blend it all out. I don't know how I feel about this foundation yet. This is my first time using it. But I like my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation better than this one. For concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, the same one that I used on my lids to prime them. And I'm going to apply this underneath my eyes and underneath where my contour would be. And I'm blending it all out. When using dark shadows, you really want to make sure that you highlight your under eyes, otherwise your eyes are gonna look dull. That's why I'm using more concealer than I normally would. And again, I'm gonna set that all using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I cannot stress enough how important it is to set your under eye concealer, otherwise it's going to crease. And going back and forth like this is really going to help lock the concealer in place. Before finishing off the rest of my face, I want to finish off the eyes. So I'm starting with the shade Whimsy, and I'm going to really buff out my lower lash line. And I'm going to really blend it out to get that smoky look. And I'm using the same Perversion eyeliner to line my lower waterline. And I'm going to use the shade, same black shade Punk, to blend it all out. And to finish off the eyes, I'm using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Voluminous Mascara. I applied some falsies off camera, and they're from Amazon. I'm gonna leave the list of that everything in the description box down below. Moving on to bronzer, I'm using the Bahama Mama bronzer. I really love this one. I reach for this one a lot. It's very easy to work with. It's really easy to blend out, and it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's just perfect to contour. So I'm gonna contour my cheekbones, and I'm gonna apply that on my jawline as well to make it really defined. And I'm gonna contour my nose as well. So I'm using the same Bahama Mama bronzer and contour my nose. And I'm gonna take the sponge and blend everything out so everything looks really seamless. For blush, I'm using the Morphe 9B palette, and I'm gonna use the shade in the center, and I'm gonna apply it onto the apples of my cheeks. I really can't speak today. And I really like to take my time with blush. I really like to build it up. I never go in with a strong hand. I always like to build my blush up. And I'm gonna apply that onto my nose as well. And for highlight, I'm using the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm using the shade Bubbly. Again, I'm gonna leave the list of everything in the list of all the products that I used in the description bar down below. So please make sure to check that out. And to line my lips, I'm using the Rimmel lip liner in the shade Spice. And I'm gonna line my lips with it, and also fill my entire lips with the same liner. And I'm gonna top it off by using the NYX Butter lip creams in the shade Abu Dhabi. And that pretty much finishes the look. Awkward posing time, and I love it. Anyways, so that completes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.